Everyone, good morning. So today I'm going to be doing a video on how to use the Trello board and as well how to do automations using Trello. So in our previous session we learned about how to create a Trello account using either your Google or your Gmail, Microsoft, Apple, or signing up through Slack. And we also went ahead to talk about the definition of Trello, which we said that Trello is just like a visual work management tool that helps teams to organize and manage their projects, their workflows, as well as tasks. So the job of Trello is easy. It is just used for tracking progress and for providing a clear overview on what is being worked on, who is working on what is left to be done. So that is the major task for Trello. Why people use Trello, for persons that have so many tasks, for persons that have so many items to work on, like persons that are project managers, virtual assistants, people that work for sales and all of that. Any field you are in, you can use Trello to enhance your workflow. So when you create an account on Trello, then it takes you to this board. This is the Trello board. This entirety is what is called a board. So boards are simply different projects on the workflow. So this whole thing you're seeing here right now is called a board. And under boards we have what we call cards. So cards are simply individual tasks or items with details like due dates, attachments, and checklists. And we also have what we call lists. So lists organize tasks into different categories like to do, in progress, and done. So those are the three categories we have on the Trello board: the board, the list, and the card. So now let's get started. Let's create a workspace. So let's just start from the beginning. Let's create a board, a fresh board, right? So let's create a fresh board. So we are going to be naming this board Trello Masterclass 1, Masterclass 1. So the workspace is visible. It's visible to all members. It's visible to all members, people you want to join. So you can set it as private, you can set it as public, or you can set it to only persons you invite to this workspace that can have access to this workspace. So now we are going to be choosing all members of this particular workspace can see and edit this board. So that is the option we are going to be choosing. But if you want to make it public so that anyone on the internet can see this board, only board members can edit, then that's also fine as well. But for this one, we're going to just choose this. Only persons that have the link to this workspace can edit on this workspace. So we create. So we go ahead to create. Right? So go ahead to create. We go ahead to create. Okay, so this is the board. Right? So now under this board we are going to be creating lists. So we are going to be naming our list to do. This is to do. You add lists, click on this add list. You can put in progress, which means that tasks that you've already started working on. And you can also put done or completed, and you can also put on hold. Let's say for tasks that you are that's currently pending and you would want to put it on a hold at the moment, right? So you can just use this 4 lists: to do, in progress, to do, in progress, done or completed, and on hold. So these are the 4 lists we are going to be having on this board, which is the Trello Masterclass 1 board. So under this list we have what we call cards. Like I said, cards represent individual tasks or items with various details, which we are going to be looking at one after the other. So now you can see this plus icon here says add card, right? This is add card. You can also see create from template. So because we don't have any members here, we can just use a template. You can use this create from template. Just so it gives us an idea on what should be on this card, right? So you have create from templates. Okay, template title, Trello board, Trello board, Trello masterclass. Okay, let's see. So you can also see templates. This is a template card. Okay, Trello mastercards. So it can be like this. Your templates can be in any form. It can be like this. So the description can be, oh, I said matter, sorry, it's supposed to be master class. Sorry, master class. Okay, then the description can be, make the session a very detailed session exploring the features of Trello, right? So that can be the description. So now in this part you can see the text style. So if you don't want this to be, if you don't want it to be in this text, you can use this text font. This is just to change the font. You can use this. You can use whichever font you want. If you want it to be bold, you can use this as well. So maybe we just use this so everybody can see. Then this is also the option for bold. You know bold, right? So when you make it bold, you can see it's now bold, and you can also unbold it, right? You can see. So this is for italic. This is for the italic. If you want it to be in italic, all you have to do is just highlight and click on this eye. As you can see, the font has changed to the italic format. You can also undo it, right? It's now back to our initial font size. So this button here is strike and code, but we are not going to be using that in the course of this video. So the best thing I tell people is that if you want to learn how to use any software, be it Trello or any other tool, always learn how to use it with the buttons. You know, always try and explore all of these buttons. It helps a lot. When you explore through the buttons, you learn faster, right? So these are lists, bullet lists, number lists. So if you want to list, you can use this bullet list or number list. Then if you have a link to add, let's say make the session a very detailed session, explain the features of Trello, and I have a link, I can paste the link here and say click this link to view, right? I can paste the link here, right, and say click this link to view. I can insert and say click this link to view, right? I can insert and say click this link to view. You insert. Okay, this is not a URL, so it's not going to save. But if in a case where you have a link, you can put it here and type in a text. So instead of them to be seeing this whole entire link, they'll be seeing this write up here. So all they just have to do is to click on this write up, and they'll be able to access the link. So when you are done, you just click on insert and you see it on your description. So also you can also insert images. So if you're working with other team members and you have an image to add, you just come to this image icon, put whatever picture you want to attach, and the person reading the description will know that okay, this is what is going on with this particular task, right? And also for this button we have insert. So you can mention, you can mention, if you have other team members, you can mention their name using this insert button here, right? So I can mention someone at Jenny. I can mention at Favor, right? As long as people are members of this workspace. When you put the add sign, you see everybody on this space, at all card members on this card. So this at card that I am putting here is all the members on this workspace. I am tagging them to see that they have to make this session a very detailed one. But if I have someone in particular that I want to assign this task to, I'll just add their name. So it's going to be at Jenny. This is the task, right? So Jenny is going to get a notification that she has been assigned a task to make a detailed session exploring the features of Trello. So that's where this insert option comes in. And you also have the option of inserting emojis. You know, you can make this workspace fun. You insert emojis. You can put triumph, you can put blush, you can put smiley. These are all emojis. These are all emojis you have to explore. You can put flags, you can put love emoji, you can put in the UK, you can put You can put that you're happy or you love the work. You can also use emojis to express, your ideas and yourself while doing task. And then also there's an option for code snippets, display codes with syntax highlighting. So we are not doing coding, so probably for people that are into coding, they can use this code snippets. Then you can also insert quotes or citation. Okay, you can also insert quotes or citations, yes, which says I I will love to see this session when it is completed. So that's you trying to make a citation or a quotation, right? So this is also a writing assistant. So Trello have what is called a writing assistance, right? It is called Atlassian Intelligence, just like your ChatGPT, your AI. So Trello also has that feature. So you can summarize your writing, you can improve your writing, you can find action items, you can um find action items, you can brainstorm and all of that. So you can make shorter, you can change tone. It's so beautiful when you're trying to use all of this feature. So let's use the summarized writing for instance. Okay, so yeah, now this is a summary of what we are trying to do. The session aims to provide an in-depth exploration of Trello's features. A participant identified as Jenny expressed enthusiasm for the session by using emojis to convey excitement and affection. They look forward to seeing the completed session. Isn't this wonderful? Like what we just created here, you can see how with the use of this writing assistant, it has helped us to summarize what we have been writing on this description. That is very, very beautiful. And you can also go ahead to tell the AI what to do next, right? So you can discard, you can repurpose, you can like, you can copy, right? So now we are just going to click on insert. Yeah, we're just going to click on insert so you can see like a summary of what we are trying to do here. So this is the summary, and again you can also find action items, fix spelling error. So it makes your work to be beautiful. To be honest, it makes your work to be beautiful. You don't have to lack words when writing description. So anybody that comes here now to this description already knows what I'm trying to achieve by this summary write-up we just created here, right? So that's the beauty of it. And you can also use it to brainstorm. You can also use it to brainstorm. Tell a topic. Tell me the topic. Making a session for Trello features, right? So you can also use it to brainstorm, then save. You can also use it to brainstorm. So okay, where is it? Okay, you can also use the brainstorm, right? So I think yeah. Okay, I think we didn't save it. But when you are done with it, however, you save and it gives you an option, okay, to say show details. Okay, so you just go ahead to save. So let's not waste more time, you understand. So all you just have to do is explore all of those things right there, and you can also edit whenever you want to. So this feature is attach and insert link, which I believe I've already explained here. You can also attach and insert link here as well using this button. Okay, so we do not have any link, maybe that's why. So but okay, yeah, it has taken me here, right? So you can attach any document, any picture you'd want, or any link you would want to attach using this attachment button here. So for here it says view markdown. So yeah, you can see what we have been doing, you can see how the description has been and all of that. So that's for that button. And finally, open help dialog. So if you need any help, if you need further support, you can use this question mark button here to seek for further help or to ask further questions. So that's all about this description part. And like I said, always remember to save, right? So your activity can be make okay, I have started making preparations for the session, right? I started making preparations for the session. You'd save. So anybody that comes to this card knows that okay, this is the progress where you are. and you said that you have already started making preparation for the session, so the person knows that okay, you've already started working on something, and you can always edit it using this edit button, right? You can always edit. Then when you are done editing, you save. And if you also want the option of deleting, let's say you do not want it, you can always go and delete a comment. So when you delete, it's deleted forever. As you can see, it's no more there, right? So you can delete. And over here we have join. So if you have team members and this task, you'd want you yourself that you are working on this task to be part of the task, all you have to do is click on join. But if you want to leave, you want to assign to someone else, you don't have to click on this join. Then for team members, you can add the team members you would want to take a look at this particular task or this particular card. Yes, you tag them. So if you have like 10 members on this card, when you click on this drop down, you see all of their email addresses or their names here. So all you have to do is just select the people you want to be part of this particular card, to be able to view or have information on this particular card, and you see them here as members. So it's going to be here as members. So you can add and add till the number of persons you want. Then for these labels, the green, you can use green as completed. You can use the color yellow as in progress. You can use the color red as on hold. You can use the color purple as to do. So it's just you playing with colors to know that okay, when someone comes and sees that the card is showing green, the person will know that okay, this task excuse me, this task is completed. When the person comes and see that the card is on red, he or she knows that oh, this task is particularly on hold. Probably there are some blockers on the way that is making this task to be on hold, and if a person goes for that to prompt you and say oh, what's going on, I can see that this task is on red or this task is on hold, then you go for that to explain why the task is on hold. So that's the importance of using labels for every of your cards, right? For every of your list or your cards. Yes, so that's for that. So let's say in this to do, we can put it at blue, to do. So you can see that the label now has changed to blue, which means that for all of our to-dos, our labels will be blue. So when anybody comes on this workspace and they see blue, they know that it's for tasks that we are going to do. We have not started. So when they see yellow, this yellow, okay, when they see orange, okay, no, when they see yellow, they know that it's in progress. When they see green, they know that it is completed. So that's how you're going to just be changing it. But for this, we can just use one because it's to do, so we don't get confused, right? So that's for that. Now okay, so that's for that with the labels. Now checklists. So checklists are just like they are like subtasks under the main task. It's just like you going to the market and you're saying okay, I'm going to the market. You're going to the market is a task that you have to do, but under that you're going to the market to get an item, right? So when you're going to the market or a supermarket, you write a list of items you'd want to get so you don't forget. So that is the importance of this checklist. So now we are going to add about like 2 checklists or 1 checklist, right? So we can say that okay, we can say send a reminder tomorrow that I need to start recording this session, right? So I need to start recording this session. You can add as many checklists as you want. You can also say I would want to get updates when necessary from team members, right? So these are all checklists, right? You also have the option of deleting your checklist, but these checklists are just like a way to measure your progress. So for instance, you said let's send a reminder tomorrow that I need to start recording this session. So I can say send the reminder tomorrow. That's where due date comes in, right? So that's where due date comes in. Tomorrow is Monday. You can say okay, send the reminder tomorrow, being the 21st, by 9:45 a.m. So you can set due date reminder. You can say remind me 1 hour before, or remind me 2 days before, or remind me 5 minutes before time. Then you click on save. So you can see here that it has a date for this particular subtask for me to send a reminder, right? So you can assign it to yourself. You can assign it to yourself, or you can assign it to any team members that this subtask concerns. So when you assign it to the person gets a notification that, oh, tomorrow you are supposed to send a reminder, or you're supposed to start recording a session for Trello. And also you can move this to card, convert to card if you want. If you want your subtask to not be on that subtask, you want to make it a card, then that's fine. But we're not going to make it a card because we're just using this as an explanation for all. An optional text, and you can also have the option of choosing a file from your computer. So that's the attachment button right here by your right. Also for location, so if you want to add a location, if you want to add that you're in the UK, you're in Nigeria, you're doing this task from Tanzania, you're doing this task from Sierra Leone, you're doing this task from Ghana, you can use this location icon here. And for cover, we have different covers. So if you do not want your board to have this design, you can also use this. You can also use this, and it's going to change. The board is going to change. You can also use this. You can also use this. You can also use this. You can also play around with it, just, you know, to get your workspace exciting and all of that. Or you can just stick to one so it doesn't get so colorful and distracting, right? So I think we should use this one. I kind of like the sunset in it. So that's for that. And that's all about for the cover. You can always remove cover for it to just be plain. So that's it. And then finally, for this custom fields means that it is something that you would want to implement yourself, right? Custom means your own terms, your own features. So let's say you want to add the priority feature and the status feature, for instance, right? So you would see it here, custom fields, you see it here. So for priority, if the task is of high priority, if it's of highest means it's very urgent, it's very important, you have to do it immediately. High means it's important but you can do it in a few hours. Medium means it's important but not necessarily. Low means it's important, it's not necessarily compulsory that you do it today. Lowest means you can do it next week. Not sure, not so sure, it's just a task, but I'm not so sure how urgent it is. So let's say we use the highest. You can see it's on red. So when you assign it to someone, the person seeing this particular card and sees the priorities as highest knows that I have to drop every other thing I'm doing and attend to this particular task because it is of highest priority. It has to be done immediately without delay. So you can also still change it to medium. You can see the colors are changing. You can change it to high, depends on your preference. You can change it to low, right? So also the status, we want to know the status of this particular task. If you are doing it, you put it on to do. If it's in progress, you put it on in progress. So anybody that comes knows, oh, it's in progress. Someone has started working on it. If it's done, you can put it done. If it's in review, we know that, oh, someone is taking a look at it and it hasn't been passed off as completed. Then if it's approved, you put approved. If you're not sure, then you can leave the not sure option. But for this one, we can put it as done because we are almost done with this particular card, right? So now we move on to add power ups. So power ups are like integrations, right? They are like external features that you can add to Trello to make it very, 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 very interesting. So these are featured, some of the featured power ups. We have scaled by screenful. We have card QR code for persons that are probably into sales and all of that. So when you add this feature, if anyone wants to make a purchase and all of that, all you have to do is probably scan this QR code, or you can add this feature that if anybody wants to join your workspace, for instance, all you have to do is scan this code and they can be a part of your workspace, right? So you can add. So you can add, right? You can add. Okay, generally, card QR code can be used anywhere. A physical link to the information contained. Okay, the code can be printed and used as a physical link to the card, or can be displayed in a mobile device to another user to quickly point them to that specific Trello card, just like I explained, you understand? So that's for that. You can use this feature, and you can see the functionalities and all of that if you want that for your board. So it has very, very, interesting features. Show description. You have the option of Outlook, calendar for Trello, two-way board. There are numerous. Email to board. You can, configure email to board. You can configure your Gmail. Quickly create new cards on your Trello board without leaving your Gmail inbox. So you can configure. Let's try it out. All right. So, okay, you have to install Trello for Gmail. In this feature, you have to install. So all you have to do is just click on this install button here, right? So you click on this install button here and you can directly keep your board and inbox connected for maximum productivity. So instead of juggling through Gmail and Trello, you can directly do it from Gmail because it's already integrated. Trello is already integrated to your Gmail, right? So you also can configure Microsoft Teams. You can integrate it. right? Even your Google Drive, if you want, to access your files instead of, going to the file folder and all of that, and you want to add an attachment, you can just add your Google Drive, right? Add Google Drive to your Trello, and it makes life very easy, as well as Slack. If you're on Slack, you can integrate Slack into Trello. So it works hand in hand. We also have other great power ups like Zoho Desk, gaming, they're numerous. So you can just take your time to explore all of these other features you can integrate into Trello to make it, very, very effective for you. So you can enhance your workflow that way. So that's for that. And okay, we're not done with this part. Okay, so still under power ups, still under power ups, we have enabled. Okay, like you can see under this enabled button here, you can see that we've enabled card QR code, and we've also added the feature of Google Drive, right? So if you add 10 features, you're going to see it here under this enabled. So you see that, okay, I have integrated my Slack with Trello, I've integrated my Gmail with Trello, I've integrated my Zoho Desk with, Trello. So it's going to be displayed here, right? So this is made by Trello. So you can also see cards news, visualize Trello cards in calendar view. So you have Box, you have Evernote, Google Drive, Google Charts, MailChimp, you can add, for people that are into email marketing, you can, add or integrate MailChimp to Trello, right? So it sends out campaigns and all of that. It sends out campaigns. So as you can see, it's showing that we've, added MailChimp to our integrations as well. So that is how it is. Whichever feature you integrate is going to be shown here on this enabled button. Slack, we're going to add Slack. Zendesk. So for people that are into customer service, sales, ticketing, and all of that, quickly search for and attach tickets and views to your card. Salesforce. So it's beautiful. Trello is really, really, really beautiful. You can, integrate all of these things, and you are, having your workflow in one. So you don't have to go to Google Drive. You can do everything from one interface. That's the beautiful thing of it, right? Beautiful thing of integrating all of these things into Trello. Yeah, so that's it. And what else on the power up? Okay, so power ups, just give me a minute. Okay, yeah. So now so now under power ups, as you can see, the ones that we've added, you can see MailChimp, you can see QR code version 2, you can see Salesforce, you can see Slack, you can see Zendesk, right? So send to channel. So if you have a Slack channel, I can decide to send this particular card to the channel. I can decide to send this card via direct message to probably a team member on Slack and say, take a look at this task, it has been worked on. I can decide to add conversation. I can, decide to remind someone about this card on Slack, right? So you don't have to now go and go. You can just come here and pick any of the options you want, right? So you can go and pick any of the options you want, as well as with Zendesk, Salesforce, and MailChimp. Okay, let's see the options for MailChimp. Okay, attach campaign, attach template. So if you already have a campaign, you can just attach it. If you already have a template on MailChimp, you can just, attach it. But I don't think we have any template yet because the MailChimp is not integrated. So you have to link your MailChimp account to be able to access this feature. So that's all about power ups. All about power ups. Yeah. So that's all about power ups. And here here we have analytics and reporting. So everything you need to know. Analytics and reporting. Okay, these are also tools that you use for analyzing. You can also integrate it for people that are into giving reports, analyzing. So these are some of the tools that you can integrate on Trello. You can see them, they are numerous. Time flow, good Gantt, habits. There are a lot of tools that people use that we don't even know about it. So these are all tools that you can use. So you can just take out your time to explore them one after the other. This is Toggle integration for Trello. So Toggle is very, very is a time tracker. Yeah, Toggle is a time tracker. So you can use Toggle to track your workflow on the Trello board. It's really, really beautiful. To be honest, it's really, really beautiful, right? So that's for that. And automations. We're coming to automations. Yeah, we're coming to automation. So if you're into automation, these are some of the tools that you can add to your Trello board. There are lots. SLAs, service legal agreements, or service legal agreements for Trello. SLAs for people that are into customer service and all of that, to track your time, the time you spend on your cards, against your SLA goals. So if you have a goal of, let's say you're into customer support of responding within an hour, so you can use this SLA to actually track the time you're spending on a particular ticket or on a particular card and all of that. So that's it. So Trello, you can also use it for communication and collaboration. to-do list. You can use it for file management. So if you're into a job that you have to help people to manage files and all that, these are tools that you can integrate. You can see Google Drive, export attachment, box, explore them. These are all tools. For project managers, you're not left out. For marketers, you're not left out. Look at calendar, see card family, subtask, due date, hierarchy for Trello, Jira. You can integrate all of these beautiful, you know, software tools as well to make your life very, 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 very easy. And finally, let's just check the sales and support so we don't spend much time on this picture. So you can see Zoho Desk for people that are into customer support. You can see forms, create custom forms and collect responses right on your Trello board. So if you have leads and you want them to fill a form and all of that, so you can easily collect their response right from the Trello board without stressing yourself at all you have to do is just add, click on add, and you can integrate it. So that's all about that, all about it. Zoho CRM, you can see it, Zoho CRM, Zoho Desk, type form, so these are all tools that you can use for different fields you are currently working with. All right, so the different fields you're currently working with. So that's for that. And let's go back. Yeah. Okay, so this add button is the part for the automation. But before we get to the automation, let's just finish this part before we get to the automation part. So this is the action part where you can move card. This is the option of moving cards, right? So you can move this card from to do to, because you've already completed it, to done. Then you click on move. Always click on move or save. You click on move. So this card now, if you check on the board, it has been moved from to do to done. Let's check it. You can see it has been moved from to do to done or completed. But if you don't want to go through that process, we also have this process where you can just drag the card. You can drag it when you're done from here to do to completed, or from to do to in progress when you're working on it, and completed when you're done. Or it can be on hold. Probably you have a blocker or you have some challenges and you are stuck. You can just put it on hold. So anybody that comes like, okay, this task is on hold, and will prompt you to ask, oh, why is this task on hold, and all of that. So when you're done, you can also drag it back to completed. So that's, and you can also move the lists. It's not just the card, you can also move the list as well, right? See, you can also move the list. These are lists, these are the cards. You can also move them, but the boards cannot be moved. Yeah, the boards can be created, more boards can be created, but the board cannot be moved because it's just like the base, right? So it's only the cards and the list that can be moved. Yeah, so that's for that. And okay, so that's for the moving. Then copy, you can copy this task using this copy option. Mirror, you can also use it, right? Then templates, there are a whole lot of templates you can make out of it. You can make a template and you can archive. When this is done, you can click on archive. So when you want to archive, it asks you to restore or delete, right? So you can delete if you don't want, or if you created it in error, all you have to do is just come to this archive and you see this delete option. So you can delete that particular card. That's if it was created in error. And you can also share, right? You can also share this particular card. So if you want a team member to take a look at it, if you don't want to, if the team member or someone else is not on this particular workspace, all you have to do is just copy this link you're seeing here, and the person, when you send it to the person can view this particular card, right? Person can view this particular card. So that's for that. So you can see all of our activities we have been doing on this card. It's displaying here, as well as the time. The time. So if it was someone else that's moved this card, you see the person's name. So that's it. And now we'll move on to the automation parts. Yeah, so move on to the automation part. So in this automation part, button templates, move card to, copy card to, add label, join card, set due date. You can also create a custom. You can also create a custom field. What you want to happen on this board, what you want to happen on this card, right? So you can create button, button name, delete, no, archive. You can put archive, not delete. Archive enabled by default. Close card when action is performed. Right? Okay, it can be enabled by default. Yes. So your automation doesn't perform any action yet. Add some actions. So this is like the rule. Archive. This is like the rule. So now all you have to do is come and add an action. You have to add an action for it to get triggered or for it to get executed. So archive, you come here and say move move the card to the bottom list, right? Move the card to the bottom list of um of no move the card to the top list of completed. Yes, yes, you come here and click. This is the action you want. Move archive when you move the card to the top of the list when it is done or completed, right? That is what you would do. So when it is completed, you archive. Move the card to the top when it is completed. So you come here and save, right? So you come here and save. So now you can see under archive, move the cards to the top of the list when it is done or completed, right? When it is done or completed, you can always name this card button. You can always come here and say archive or unarchive, and you can always add members, you can always add checklists, you can always add dates, you can always add content, right? Rename the card, you can always rename this card, you can send the card's description, you can post comments, you can send an email notification to, okay, let's use this email to me. You can send an email notification to me, right? With subject task has been completed. The message can be please check out this task. Whichever message you'd want to add, you can add it here, right? And as you can see, you can enter multiple addresses separated by semicolons. So if I want to send an email to myself, I want to send an email to other team members, all I have to do is just add semicolon after the first email to add other persons. Then I can add URL if I want to, but for this I'm just going to say add, right? Add. So now it says archive. Under archive, that's the title. Move the card to the top of the list when it is done or completed. That's an action. Send an email notification to the email addresses you provide here with the subject dash 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 and the email dash 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 dash, right? Task has been completed. Please check this task out. So when you are done, you click on save, right? You click on save. So what is this action you have just what is this rule and action you have just made to trigger? So it says that when you move a card, when a card is archived, you move the card to the top of the list as done or completed. Then you also go ahead to send an email notification to all members that are involved with the subject and message task has been completed, please check out this task. So if for any reason I complete a task, automatically the people I would add their email address we get a notification. I don't have to be the one going to send them a notification again because I have already automated this. So automatically they will get a notification with this subject, task has been completed, please check out this task, right? So it saves you that time of going from email to email, copying and all of that, because you have already done an automation here, right? So you can also have the option of showing this on this board or hiding it on this board. So it depends on whatever you want. So that is how you make automations, right? So we also have app automations. We also have automations with Jira, with Slack and all of that. So but you have to connect your accounts to to add automations. So let's say for instance you integrate your Slack, you can add that, okay, when a task is completed, send team members on Slack this particular message that this task has been done. Instead of to their email address, they can receive notifications on Slack that Tolu has completed this task, right? Tolu has completed this task, please take a look at it. So that is the power of automation and integration of all of these apps. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps you a lot. I hope it helps. So that's all for that. We've explored all of these buttons, and then finally here we have inbox. So if anybody sends you an inbox, you are going to see it here, but we don't have any inbox yet. Then this is for planner. Like I said, you can also integrate your Google Calendar, connect your calendar. You can also integrate your calendar to Trello. So this is the view of the board, right? This is the view of the board. And as well, you can also switch board. You can create multiple boards, right? You can, if you have multiple boards, let's say you have different workspaces you're working on, you can switch from this board to this other board, from this board to this other board. So you can switch between, you know, boards. Like this is the board, Trello Masterclass 1. This is another board, Trello Workflow Process. And this is another board, my Trello board, right? So as you can see here, this is another board. We have moved to another board, and this is the board we have been working on, right? No, this is not the board we have been working on. This is the board we have been working on. Yeah, so you can switch between boards, right? So that's all for that. And then finally um yeah, and then finally we also have templates. Yeah, so this is the part of the templates I was talking about yesterday. This is the part for templates. So this is a basic board, this is a Kanban board, this is a daily task management board, remote team hub. So let's say, for instance, you're a project manager, you can use any of these templates, right? Depends on the work. So this is another templates that you can use. So this is already populated, yes. So you have backlog to do, done today, Thursday. So list of tasks you want to do at some point. This is a card. Complete training course, this is a task. Book in meeting with the HRO. So these are things that you'd have itemized. So when when these are things that you have to do, let's say for the week, that's why it's called backlog, let's say for the entire week. So let's say you're having this meeting with a meeting with the HRO. So when you're done, you can also move it to done today, and you know, Thursday, Friday, and all that. So you can put in the items you would be doing for the whole week or for the whole month, right? You can see it has, you know, all of the dates. You can see daily tasks here are copied to your new to-do list on a daily basis and all of that. So that is for that. And these are options for filtering. So you can filter. If you want to see marks as completed, you see all completed tasks. If you want to see not marked as complete, anything you want to do, you see it here, right? You're going to see it here using these filter options. And also this start button, if you have multiple workspace, you can just start the ones that are very important, so you'd see them when it is necessary, right? So now these templates, like I said, you can create Kanban templates and all of that. Then also you can view your workspace in these formats as a board, right? You can view it as a board, you can view it in a tabular form and all of that, right? So that's for that. So yeah, you can come here and create a new board. So this space is just for settings, right? This space is just for settings. So you can set profile and visibility, you can set how the activities, the cards, the themes, if you want it to be dark, white, you know, and all of that. And you can create multiple workspace, right? You can choose your work type, operations, education, marketing, and others. So that's for that. So you can just explore more, and if you have further questions, please feel free to reach out to me, and I hope this helps someone. Thank you so much for your time. Bye.